My mother's net worth is 8 figures. She could buy you your robe and this entire courthouse before lunch. Those words hang in the air like poison. The woman who said them stands in Providence Municipal Court wearing a white Chanel blazer. Her name is Victoria Ashford. She's 23 years old. Diamonds sparkle on her wrists. Her purse is Hermès Birkin. Orange leather. $35,000 sitting on the defense table like it's nothing. Judge Frank Caprio sits on the bench. His face doesn't move, but his eyes, they're watching everything. He's seen a lot in 40 years. But this is different. If you believe justice should be equal for everyone, no matter how much money they have, you'll want to see what happens next. The bailiff called this case 10 minutes ago. Case number 2025, TR 91847. Traffic violation. Seems simple, but nothing about today is simple. Standing next to Victoria is her lawyer. He's expensive. You can tell by his suit. Italian wool. His briefcase probably costs more than a used car. He looks uncomfortable, like he knows this won't end well. On the other side of the courtroom sits Elena Morales. She's 58 years old. Gray streaks run through her black hair. She wears hospital scrubs. Blue ones with little hearts on them. They're clean but faded. She's been wearing scrubs like these for 30 years. She's a nurse at Rhode Island Hospital. Works in the emergency room. The night shift. Elena sits with her hands folded in her lap. Her fingers have calluses. Not from typing. From hard work. From lifting patients. From doing what needs to be done. Her eyes look tired. Not just today tired. The kind of tired that lives in your bones. She's here because of a parking ticket. Sounds small. But when you work 60 hours a week and raise 2 teenagers alone, $25 isn't small. When it becomes $50 with late fees, it's groceries. When it becomes $150 with court costs, it's the electric bill. Victoria is here because 3 weeks ago, on a Tuesday afternoon, she was driving her Range Rover down Westminster Street. White paint. Chrome wheels. The license plate says worthy. Not rich or blessed. Just worthy. Like she deserves more than other people. Elena was parked legally in a spot near the hospital. She'd moved her car there during her lunch break. 15 minutes. Just enough time to feed the meter and grab coffee. Hospital parking costs $18 a day. She parks on the street when she can. Saves money. Victoria was texting. Her phone in one hand. Iced latte in the other. She wasn't looking. Didn't see the lane ending. Didn't see the parked cars. She swerved. Hard. Her Range Rover scraped along 5 cars. Metal screaming against metal. Paint peeling like skin. Elena's car was number 3. A 2009 Honda Accord. Silver. It had 200,000 miles on it. But it ran. It got her to work. It got her kids to school. It was hers. Paid off 5 years ago. The Range Rover left a gash down the entire side. Door caved in. Mirror gone. Window cracked like a spider web. Victoria stopped. Got out. Looked at the damage. 5 cars destroyed. She didn't call the police. She didn't leave a note. She took out her phone and called her mother. Mom, I scratched some car. Can you handle it? A woman walking her dog heard everything. She wrote down the license plate. Called the police. Gave a statement. 2 hours later, the police showed up at the Ashford estate. That's not exaggeration. It's actually called an estate. 12 acres in the east side. The house has a name. Ashford Manor. Built in 1897. Victoria's great-great-grandfather made his fortune in textiles. Her grandfather grew it in real estate. Her mother runs a private equity firm. The officer knocked on the door. A housekeeper answered. She said Victoria wasn't available. The officer left a citation. Required court appearance. That citation is why everyone is here today. Judge Caprio looks at the case file. He reads slowly. Carefully. He looks up. Ms. Ashford, you've been cited for leaving the scene of an accident, failure to exchange information, and reckless driving. Do you understand these charges? Victoria sighs. Actually sighs. Like she's bored. Sure. Whatever. Can we just pay the fine and leave? I have a spa appointment at 2. People in the courtroom shift in their seats. A man in the back row leans forward. A woman whispers to her husband. Judge Caprio's expression doesn't change. This isn't about paying a fine, Ms. Ashford. This is about taking responsibility. You damaged 5 vehicles. One of those vehicles belongs to Ms. Morales. She's here today. Would you like to address her? Victoria turns. looks at Elena for the first time. Her eyes scan the scrubs, the worn shoes, the tired face. Her lip curls, just slightly, but everyone sees it. No, I'm good. My insurance will cover it, right? Her lawyer touches her arm, whispers something. Victoria pulls away. Judge Caprio writes something in his notes. Ms. Morales, would you like to speak? Elena stands. Her hands shake slightly. She's not used to courtrooms. She's used to saving lives, to holding hands of scared patients, to working miracles with too few resources. Your Honor, I just want my car fixed. I need it for work. I've been taking the bus for 3 weeks. It takes 2 hours each way. I leave my house at 4 in the morning to make my 6 a.m. shift. My daughter has been missing school to watch her little brother because I can't get home in time. Her voice cracks. She stops, breathes. I called her insurance company. They said there's a dispute. They said she's claiming she wasn't at fault. But there's a witness. There's a police report. I don't understand why this has to be so hard. She sits down, wipes her eyes quickly, like she's embarrassed to cry. Victoria laughs. Actually laughs. It's not loud, but in the silent courtroom, it might as well be a scream. Oh, come on. It's a Honda. How much could it possibly be worth? Like $2,000? My mother spends that on wine every month. The courtroom erupts. Not loudly, but you feel it. Anger rippling through the rows like electricity. Judge Caprio holds up his hand. The room goes quiet. Ms. Ashford, that's your first warning. You will speak respectfully in this courtroom, or you will be held in contempt. Do you understand? Victoria rolls her eyes. Actually rolls them. Yeah, fine. I understand. The judge makes another note. Let's review the evidence. Officer Patterson, you responded to the scene. A police officer stands. He's young, maybe 28. His uniform is pressed. His badge shines. Yes, Your Honor. I arrived at Westminster Street at approximately 3:47 p.m. on October 15th. I observed 5 damaged vehicles, all parked legally. Based on paint transfer and the witness statement, I determined that a white Range Rover registered to Catherine Ashford was responsible. The witness, Mrs. Dorothy Chun, provided a written statement and the license plate number. He holds up a folder. I have photos of the damage, security footage from a nearby business, and records of the defendant's phone activity showing she was using her phone at the time of the accident. Victoria's lawyer stands. Your Honor, we dispute the phone records. They don't prove. Judge Caprio cuts him off. Counselor, I'll review everything. Please sit. The lawyer sits. He looks like he wants to disappear. The judge examines the photos. His face remains neutral, but his jaw tightens slightly. These photos show significant damage. Ms. Morales' vehicle sustained damage estimated at $4,200. The repair cost exceeds the vehicle's Blue Book value of $3,800. That makes it a total loss. Elena gasps. Her hand covers her mouth. Total loss. But I need that car. I can't afford another one. Judge Caprio nods. I understand, Ms. Morales. That's why we're here. He turns to Victoria. Ms. Ashford, this isn't just about money. You destroyed someone's property. You left without taking responsibility. And according to this witness statement, you were on your phone. That's reckless endangerment. Do you have anything to say? Victoria shrugs. Look, I'm sorry her car is old and not worth fixing. But that's not my problem. My insurance should handle it. Why am I even here? This is what insurance is for. Her lawyer puts his head in his hands. Judge Caprio leans forward. You're here because you broke the law. You're here because you left the scene. You're here because a citizen did what you should have done. She called the police. She told the truth. Now, let's talk about your insurance claim. He picks up another document. I have the insurance file here. Your mother called the insurance company 4 hours after the accident. She claimed you weren't driving. She said the car was stolen. She filed a police report stating the vehicle was taken from your driveway between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. The courtroom goes dead silent. But according to traffic cameras, your car was at Starbucks at 2:30 p.m. Your credit card was used inside at 2:33 p.m. You posted on Instagram from inside your car at 2:45 p.m. The caption said, "Coffee runs before meeting the girls." The accident occurred at 3:15 p.m. The police arrived at your home at 5:30 p.m. Your mother filed the false stolen vehicle report at 6 p.m. He looks up. That's insurance fraud, Ms. Ashford. That's a felony. Victoria's face goes pale. For the first time, she looks worried. I didn't file that report. That was my mom. I didn't know she was going to do that. Judge Caprio nods slowly. Perhaps. But you benefited from it. And you never corrected it. In fact, when the insurance investigator called you, you said, "I'm not talking without my lawyer." That's your right. But it's also consciousness of guilt. He shuffles papers. Let's continue. Officer Patterson, what else do you have? The officer stands again. Your Honor, during my investigation, I attempted to contact Ms. Ashford 7 times. She never responded. Her mother's attorney called my supervisor. He claimed harassment. He threatened to file a complaint. He suggested my questions were inappropriate. Judge Caprio writes more notes. Attempted interference with an investigation. Ms. Ashford, who told your mother's attorney to make that call? Victoria looks at her lawyer. He shakes his head slightly. I don't remember. Maybe my mom did it. I don't know. The judge stares at her. 10 seconds pass. They feel like 10 minutes. You don't know. I see. Let's move on. He picks up a tablet. Presses play on a video. This is security footage from the business across the street. It shows your Range Rover at the time of the accident. The screen shows a white SUV swerving suddenly. It clips the first car. Keeps going. Hits the second, third, fourth, fifth. Finally stops. The driver's side door opens. Victoria gets out. She looks at the damage. Pulls out her phone. Talks. Gets back in. Drives away. The entire courtroom watches. No one speaks. The video ends. Judge Caprio sets down the tablet. Ms. Ashford, that video shows you leaving. No note. No call to police. Nothing. What were you thinking? Victoria's face flushes red. Not from embarrassment. From anger. I was thinking that I didn't have time for this. I was thinking that's why I pay insurance. I was thinking that I have better things to do than stand around waiting for cops. Her voice rises. Do you know who I am? Do you know who my family is? My great-great-grandfather helped build this city. My mother employs 200 people. We donate millions to charity every year. This whole thing is ridiculous. Judge Caprio's expression doesn't change. I know exactly who you are, Ms. Ashford. You're someone who thinks rules don't apply to them. You're someone who damages other people's property and drives away. You're someone whose mother commits fraud to protect her. That's who you are. Victoria's hands ball into fists. You can't talk to me like that. My mother knows the governor. She plays tennis with the mayor. One phone call. Judge Caprio interrupts. One phone call and what, Ms. Ashford? I'll lose my job? I've been a judge for 40 years. I've heard every threat. Every name drop. Every don't you know who I am? And I'm still here. You know why? Victoria doesn't answer. Because justice doesn't care about your last name. It doesn't care about your mother's bank account. It doesn't care about who you play tennis with. It cares about what's right. The judge looks at his notes again. Let's talk about the phone records. Your cell phone provider confirms you were actively using your device at 3:14 p.m. You were texting. The text said, and I quote, "OMG, this barista got my order wrong again. These people are so incompetent." He looks up. You sent that text 60 seconds before the accident. You were doing 45 miles per hour in a 25-mile-per-hour zone. You weren't watching the road. You destroyed 5 cars. And you think the problem is an incorrect coffee order. Victoria's lawyer stands. Your Honor, my client acknowledges poor judgment. We're prepared to accept responsibility for the accident. We'll ensure all victims are compensated. We ask the court for leniency given her age and lack of prior record. Judge Caprio nods. Counselor, I appreciate that. But your client hasn't shown remorse. She's shown contempt. For this court. For Ms. Morales. For everyone here. He turns back to Victoria. Ms. Ashford, let me ask you something. Have you ever worked a job? Victoria blinks. What? A job. Employment. Where you show up and someone pays you for your time. I mean, I volunteer at my mother's charity gala. I help plan the auction. That's not a job. That's a hobby. Have you ever needed money? Really needed it? Not wanted it. Needed it. Victoria's mouth opens. Closes. She doesn't know what to say. Judge Caprio points at Elena. Ms. Morales works 60 hours a week. She makes $17 an hour. That's after 30 years of experience. 30 years of saving lives. of holding the hands of dying patients, of missing her children's soccer games and school plays because someone's grandmother is having a heart attack. His voice gets stronger. She does that job because people need her. Because if she doesn't show up, people die. And she does it for $17 an hour. Do you know what you spent on your purse? Victoria glances at her Birkin bag. I don't remember. It was a gift. That bag costs $35,000. I looked it up during the break. That's more than Ms. Morales makes in a year. In a year, Ms. Ashford. 12 months of saving lives. And you carry it like it's nothing. Victoria's face hardens. I can't help what things cost. That's not my fault. Judge Caprio shakes his head. You're right. It's not your fault you were born wealthy. But it is your fault how you treat people. It is your fault that you destroyed someone's car and drove away. It is your fault that you're standing here acting like you're the victim. He picks up another paper. Let's talk about what happened after the accident. Ms. Morales filed an insurance claim. Your mother's insurance company denied it. They cited the stolen vehicle report. Ms. Morales hired a lawyer. That cost her $800 she didn't have. She borrowed it from her sister. The lawyer wrote letters, made calls, got nowhere. He looks at Victoria. Then something interesting happened. Someone created a fake social media account. The username was CarefulDriverRI. This account posted lies about Ms. Morales. It said she staged the accident. It said she was trying to scam insurance money. It posted her work address, her photo, her children's names. Elena's face goes white. Judge Caprio continues. The posts got shared. People called the hospital where she works. They said she was a liar, a fraud. The hospital investigated. She almost lost her job. Do you know about this, Ms. Ashford? Victoria shifts her weight. No, I don't know anything about that. The judge picks up his tablet again. The IP address used to create that account was traced to your home address. The account was created on your computer. Your digital fingerprint is all over it. The courtroom explodes. People gasp. Someone shouts, "Are you kidding me?" The bailiff steps forward. Order. Everyone quiet. Victoria's face goes from pale to red. That wasn't me. Someone must have used my computer. Maybe a housekeeper. Maybe a guest. Judge Caprio's voice cuts through the noise like a knife. The account posted photos from inside your bedroom. One photo showed your vanity with all your makeup. Another showed your closet. The caption said, "When you're rich, you don't worry about small things like traffic accidents." That was you, Ms. Ashford. Victoria's breathing gets faster. Okay, fine. I was mad. She was trying to blame me. I was just defending myself. Defending yourself? She filed a legitimate insurance claim. You and your mother responded with fraud and cyberbullying. You tried to destroy her reputation. You almost cost her the job she needs to feed her children. That's not defense. That's attack. The judge's voice gets quiet. Dangerously quiet. Ms. Morales, did those posts affect you? Elena stands. Tears stream down her face. Your Honor, my daughter Sophia found them. She's 16. She came home from school crying. Kids were asking if her mom was a criminal. If I was trying to steal money. She stopped eating lunch at school. She was embarrassed. Her voice breaks completely. My son Miguel is 12. Someone spray-painted liar on our apartment door. The landlord made me clean it. He said if it happened again, we'd have to leave. We've lived there for 8 years. It's all we can afford. She sits down. Her whole body shakes. Victoria looks away. Her jaw is tight. Judge Caprio stares at her. Look at her, Ms. Ashford. What? I said look at her. Look at what you did. Victoria turns her head. Her eyes meet Elena's for just a second. Then she looks down. Look. At. Her. Victoria looks up. Elena's face is wet with tears. Her hands tremble. Judge Caprio's voice is steel. That woman saves lives. She works impossible hours for impossible pay. She raises 2 children alone because their father died in a construction accident 6 years ago. She has never asked for charity. Never asked for handouts. She just wants to work hard and take care of her family. He pauses. And you tried to destroy her because you didn't want to take responsibility for your mistake. Victoria's voice cracks. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. What else do you want me to say? I want you to understand. Do you understand what you did? Yes. I get it. I messed up. Judge Caprio shakes his head. No, you don't get it. But you will. He straightens in his chair. Ms. Ashford, you need to learn something. Your privilege has protected you from your entire life. You need to learn that actions have consequences. That money doesn't solve everything. That other people's lives matter just as much as yours. Victoria opens her mouth to speak. Don't interrupt me. I'm not finished. She closes her mouth. You came into my courtroom wearing a jacket that costs more than most people make in a month. You carry a purse worth someone's yearly salary. You drink coffee that costs $7 while complaining about the barista. And you think you're better than everyone else. You think rules are suggestions. You think consequences are for other people. He leans forward. Today you learn different. The courtroom is silent. Everyone leans forward. On the charge of leaving the scene of an accident, I find you guilty. On the charge of failure to exchange information, guilty. On the charge of reckless driving, guilty. Victoria's lawyer scribbles notes frantically. Judge Caprio continues. Sentencing. First, financial penalties. You will pay $15,000 in fines to the state. You will pay Ms. Morales $6,500. That's the value of her total vehicle plus $2,700 for lost wages and borrowed legal fees. Plus pain and suffering. You will pay this directly to her. In person. With a cashier's check. Today. Victoria nods. That doesn't scare her. Money is easy. Second, your driver's license is suspended for 180 days. 6 months. No driving. Not to the store. Not to the spa. Not to your friend's house. You want to go somewhere, you walk. You take the bus. You figure it out like everyone else. Her eyes widen. Wait, what? I need my car. You should have thought about that before you destroyed 5 others. I'm not finished. He picks up a paper. Third, community service. 250 hours. You will complete these hours at Rhode Island Hospital, in the emergency room, where Ms. Morales works. Victoria's mouth drops open. You can't be serious. I'm completely serious. You'll work under the supervision of the ER director. You'll clean rooms. You'll mop floors. You'll empty bedpans. You'll do whatever they tell you to do. You'll do it wearing hospital-issued scrubs. No designer clothes. No jewelry. No makeup beyond what's professional. He looks her directly in the eyes. You'll report every Saturday and Sunday for 25 weeks. 6 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. No excuses. No sick days unless you're actually hospitalized yourself. You miss a day, you add 2 weeks. Victoria's face goes bright red. This is insane. I'm not cleaning toilets. My mother will never allow this. Judge Caprio's voice gets ice cold. Your mother isn't in my courtroom. You are. And you'll do exactly what I say, or you'll spend the next 30 days in jail deciding if you want to comply. Victoria takes a step back like she's been slapped. You can't send me to jail. I have rights. You do have rights. And I have authority. Want to test which matters more right now. Her lawyer grabs her arm. Whispers urgently in her ear. She shakes her head violently. He keeps whispering. Finally, she stops talking. Judge Caprio continues. Fourth, public accountability. You will write a 5,000-word essay. Handwritten. Not typed. Not dictated to an assistant. You write every single word yourself. He hands a paper to the bailiff, who walks it to Victoria's lawyer. The topic is listed there. How my privilege blinded me to the consequences of my actions. You'll discuss what you did. Why it was wrong. What you learned. You'll submit this to me personally. I'll read every word. If it's garbage written by a lawyer or copied from the internet, you'll start over. Victoria snatches the paper. Stares at it like it's written in another language. Fifth, you will create a public apology video. 3 minutes long. You'll post it on all your social media accounts. You'll explain what you did. You'll apologize to Ms. Morales by name. You'll apologize to the other victims. You'll take full responsibility. No excuses. No, I'm sorry if anyone was offended. Real accountability. No way. I'm not destroying my reputation for this. Judge Caprio laughs. It's not a happy sound. Your reputation. You already destroyed that. This is your chance to rebuild it. To show people you're more than a spoiled rich girl who thinks money fixes everything. This is your chance to prove you can grow. He picks up another paper. Sixth, special conditions. You're banned from social media for 6 months except for the required apology video. No Instagram. No Twitter. No TikTok. The account used to harass Ms. Morales has been reported to law enforcement. Federal charges for cyberstalking are being considered. That's out of my hands. Victoria's legs seem to shake. 7th, you will attend victim impact panels. For sessions, you'll sit and listen to people whose lives were changed by reckless drivers. You'll hear from families who lost children, from people who lost their ability to walk. You'll listen and you'll learn. He sets down his papers. 8th, and this is important, if you complete all of this, if you show genuine remorse and real change, this stays a misdemeanor. But if you fail, if you refuse, if you show contempt for this court again, I'll charge you with insurance fraud. That's a felony. That means jail time. That means a criminal record. That means your mother's money won't save you. Victoria sways slightly. Her face has gone from red to white, and back to red. This is ridiculous. This is abuse of power. You're punishing me because I have money. Judge Caprio stands. The whole courtroom stands with him out of respect. Except Victoria. No, Ms. Ashford. I'm holding you accountable because you broke the law. Because you hurt people. Because you need to learn that you're not special. You're not above the rules. You're just another person who made terrible choices and now has to face them. His voice rises. You said your mother could buy me. Could buy this courthouse. Maybe she could. Maybe she has enough money to buy a lot of things. But she can't buy integrity. She can't buy justice. She can't buy back the nights Ms. Morales cried herself to sleep wondering how she'd get to work. She can't buy back her daughter's humiliation at school. She can't buy back the security her children felt before you tried to destroy their mother's reputation. He points at Victoria. Money is just paper, Ms. Ashford. Just numbers in an account. It's not real power. You know what real power is? It's Ms. Morales showing up to work every day, even when she's exhausted, even when she's scared, even when entitled children like you make her life harder. That's power. That's strength. That's worth more than every dollar in your family's fortune. The courtroom erupts in applause. People stand. Someone whoops. The bailiff doesn't stop them. Victoria's face crumples. Tears start falling. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean any of it. I just wanted it to go away. Judge Caprio sits back down. The room goes quiet. I know you didn't mean it. That's the problem. You never thought about what it meant. You never considered how your actions affected real people. You just assumed money would make it disappear. He looks at her with something that might be pity. Life doesn't work that way, Victoria. Actions have consequences. Pain you cause doesn't vanish because you write a check. Damage you do to people's lives doesn't heal because your mother knows powerful people. She's crying harder now. Mascara runs down her face. Her perfect makeup ruined. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't tell me. Tell her. Victoria turns to Elena. The two women face each other across the courtroom. Wealthy privilege meeting exhausted dignity. Ms. Morales, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I was cruel. I didn't think about you as a real person. I just thought about myself. I'm sorry about your car. I'm sorry about the posts. I'm sorry for everything. Elena stands. She walks across the courtroom. Everyone watches. She stops in front of Victoria. For a moment, nobody breathes. Elena reaches out. She places her hand on Victoria's shoulder. I forgive you. But you need to change. Really change. Not just say words. Become a better person. Victoria nods, still crying. Elena walks back to her seat. Judge Caprio clears his throat. Ms. Ashford, you have a choice right now. You can accept this sentence. You can do the work. You can grow. Or you can refuse. You can let your pride and your money keep protecting you from consequences. He pauses. But I need to tell you something. The second path is shorter. It's easier, but it leads nowhere good. You'll be 40 years old still acting like you're special. Still treating people like they don't matter. Still wondering why you're miserable even though you have everything. His voice softens just slightly. The first path is harder. It's humiliating. It's uncomfortable. But it leads somewhere real. To being a person others respect. To understanding what actually matters. To maybe someday being someone who makes the world better instead of worse. He looks at her directly. So what's it going to be? Do you accept this sentence? Victoria wipes her face. Her hands are shaking. She looks at her lawyer. He nods very slightly. She looks back at the judge. I accept. Good. Bailiff, administer the oath for community service agreement. The bailiff steps forward with a paper. Victoria signs it. Her signature is shaky. Judge Caprio makes final notes. One more thing. You mentioned earlier that your mother could buy me. Buy this courthouse. You said it like it was a threat. Like it was power. He sets down his pen. Let me tell you something about real power. Real power is being able to sleep at night knowing you did the right thing. It's being able to look in the mirror without shame. It's having people respect you because of who you are, not what you own. He looks around the courtroom. I've been a judge for 40 years. I've sent people to jail. I've ordered fines. I've made hard decisions. And I've never lost sleep over one of them. You know why? Because I treat everyone the same. Rich, poor, connected, nobody. In this courtroom, everyone gets equal treatment. That's not something money can buy. That's something you earn. The room is completely silent. Ms. Ashford, you're dismissed. Report to Rhode Island Hospital this Saturday at 6 a.m. Wear clothes you can work in. The ER director is expecting you. If you're 1 minute late, there's a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Morales, a word please. Elena approaches the bench. Judge Caprio speaks quietly, but his words carry. Ma'am, I apologize that the system failed you. That you had to fight so hard for something that should have been automatic. That's not right. Here's what I'm going to do. He writes something on a paper. In addition to the $6,500 from Ms. Ashford, the court is providing an emergency fund payment of $3,000. That's not compensation for pain and suffering. That's acknowledgement that you were forced to spend money and time you didn't have because someone wealthy thought they were above the law. Elena's eyes fill with tears. Your Honor, I don't need charity. This isn't charity, Ms. Morales. This is justice. You're also getting a letter from this court to your employer explaining the situation. Making sure there's no stain on your reputation. Making sure everyone knows you did nothing wrong. That letter will be on official letterhead. It'll make clear that you were the victim of a crime and you handled yourself with dignity. He smiles at her. You're an example of what's good in this world. You work hard. You raise good children. You tell the truth even when it costs you. Don't ever apologize for that. Don't ever think you're less than anyone because of money. You're worth more than gold. Elena can't speak. She just nods. Tears flow freely. Go home to your children, ma'am. This is over. She turns to leave. Stops. Turns back. Thank you, Your Honor. For seeing me. For hearing me. Thank you. Judge Caprio nods. Thank you for being the kind of person who restores my faith in humanity. Elena leaves. Victoria stands frozen at the defense table. Her lawyer is packing his briefcase. Judge Caprio looks at Victoria one more time. Ms. Ashford, one last thing. When you're mopping floors at the hospital, when you're cleaning rooms, when you're doing work you think is beneath you, I want you to remember something. She looks up. The people doing that work every day aren't less than you. They're not there because they failed. They're there because someone has to do it. Because the work matters. Because patients need clean rooms and safe spaces. That work has dignity. Every job has dignity when it's done with care. He closes his folder. You have a chance to learn humility. Don't waste it. Court is adjourned. The gavel falls. The sound echoes. Victoria stands there. Everyone files out. People whisper as they pass her. Some looks are angry. Some are satisfied. Some might even be sympathetic. Her lawyer touches her arm. Come on. Let's go. We need to write that check and get it to Ms. Morales today. Victoria nods numbly. They walk out. In the hallway, reporters wait. Cameras flash. Microphones extend. Ms. Ashford, how do you feel about the sentence? Victoria, will your mother appeal? Is it true you cyberbullied the victim? She doesn't answer. Her lawyer guides her through the crowd. They get to the elevator. The doors close. Inside, Victoria leans against the wall. I can't believe this is happening. Her lawyer looks at her. You're lucky. Judge Caprio could have thrown the book at you. He could have pursued federal charges for the cyberstalking. He could have charged your mother as an accessory to insurance fraud. He gave you a chance. A chance? He humiliated me. The lawyer shakes his head. No, Victoria. You humiliated yourself. He just made sure there were consequences. Now you get to decide if you learn from them. The elevator doors open. They walk to the parking garage. Victoria's Range Rover sits there. White and pristine. Chrome gleaming. She pulls out her keys. The lawyer takes them from her hand. What are you doing? You can't drive, remember? License suspended. I'll give you a ride home. We'll figure out the logistics later. Victoria stares at her car. Her perfect, expensive car. The car that started all of this. 6 months without driving. 6 months to learn that convenience isn't a right. It's a privilege. One you abused. They get in the lawyer's car. A modest sedan. Toyota. 5 years old. Clean but ordinary. The drive to her house is silent. When they pull up to the estate, Victoria sees her mother standing on the steps. Arms crossed. Face like thunder. I have to go, Victoria says. Good luck. She gets out. Walks up the steps. Her mother doesn't move. Well. Community service. Essay. Apology video. Fines. License suspended. Her mother's face gets red. That judge has no idea who he's dealing with. I'm calling Senator Morrison right now. This is outrageous. Victoria stops. For the first time in her life, she sees her mother clearly. The anger, the entitlement, the belief that rules don't apply to them. She sees where she learned it all. No, Mom. Excuse me. Don't call anyone. I did this. I have to fix it. Her mother stares. Are you insane? Do you know what this will do to our family's reputation? Victoria thinks about Elena, about her children, about the spray paint on their door. Our reputation is that we think we're better than everyone else. Maybe it's time that changed. She walks inside. Her mother follows, still talking, still angry, still planning to fix everything with phone calls and money. Victoria goes to her room, closes the door, looks in the mirror. Her makeup is ruined. Her eyes are red. She looks terrible. She looks human. For the first time in a long time, she sees herself. Not the designer clothes or expensive accessories. Just her. Just Victoria. And she doesn't like what she sees. But maybe, just maybe, that's the first step to changing it. 6 weeks pass. Victoria reports to Rhode Island Hospital every Saturday and Sunday. 6 in the morning. She wears donated scrubs. Blue with cartoon bears on them. They're 2 sizes too big. The first day, she shows up late. 10 minutes. The ER director, Dr. Karen Mitchell, doesn't yell. She just adds another day to the total. Victoria quickly learns not to be late again. The work is exactly what Judge Caprio said. Cleaning rooms, mopping floors, emptying trash, doing laundry, restocking supplies. It's exhausting. Her feet hurt. Her back aches. She's never been this tired. The staff mostly ignores her. They know why she's there. Word spreads fast in hospitals. But Elena is kind. She doesn't gloat. She doesn't make Victoria's life harder. She just does her job. And sometimes when Victoria is struggling with a heavy cart or confused about where supplies go, Elena helps. The isolation rooms are down that hall. Yellow bins go in the biohazard container. The red ones in regular trash. Thanks. They don't talk much beyond that. But Victoria watches. She watches Elena comfort a scared child getting stitches. She watches her hold the hand of an elderly man having a heart attack. She watches her work a 14-hour shift because they're short-staffed and people need help. She watches and she learns what actual strength looks like. On week 4, Victoria is cleaning a trauma room. There was a car accident. A teenage driver. Texting. Hit a family in a minivan. Blood is everywhere. Victoria stands there, mop in hand, staring. Elena walks in. First trauma scene. Victoria nods. She can't speak. It's hard, but someone has to clean it. So the next patient has a clean, safe space. That's important work. Elena starts helping. Together they clean the room. When they're done, Victoria sits on the floor. Her back against the wall. The driver. The teenager. Is he okay? He'll live. Broken leg. Concussion. He's lucky. The family. Elena's face darkens. Father died on the way here. Mother is in surgery. 2 kids in pediatric ICU. One might not make it. Victoria closes her eyes. Because of a text message. Because someone thought their phone was more important than paying attention. Victoria opens her eyes. I did that. I was texting when I hit those cars. I could have killed someone. Elena sits down next to her. But you didn't. And now you know better. The question is, what will you do with that knowledge? They sit in silence for a moment. Ms. Morales, why are you being nice to me? I was horrible to you. I tried to ruin your life. Elena thinks for a long moment. Because staying angry doesn't help anyone. Because you're trying to change. Because everyone deserves a second chance if they're willing to do the work. She stands up. But don't mistake kindness for weakness. I forgave you. I didn't forget. You have to earn back trust. That takes time. She walks out. Victoria sits there for a long time. Week 8. Victoria's mother hasn't spoken to her in a month. She's furious about the embarrassment, about the social media posts, about Victoria refusing to let her fix it. Victoria has stopped caring what her mother thinks. She's been writing her essay. Handwritten. It's hard. She's never had to think this deeply about herself before. She writes about growing up with money, about never hearing no, about learning that problems disappear if you throw cash at them. She writes about Elena, about watching her work, about understanding for the first time that money doesn't make you better. It just makes life easier. She writes about the accident, about how she drove away because she couldn't imagine facing consequences. She writes about the cyberbullying, about how she tried to destroy someone's reputation to protect her own. She writes until her hand cramps, until the words are real and raw and honest. Week 12. Victoria goes to her first victim impact panel. A woman speaks. Her name is Margaret. Her daughter was killed by a drunk driver 3 years ago. She was 8 years old. Margaret talks about planning a funeral instead of a birthday party, about the drunk driver getting 5 years in prison but her daughter being gone forever. Victoria cries. Really cries. Not manipulative tears. Real grief for someone she never met. After the panel, she approaches Margaret. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for what happened to your daughter." Margaret looks at her. "Are you here because you hurt someone?" "I could have. I was texting and driving. I hit parked cars. But it could have been a person." Margaret nods. "Then don't let my daughter die for nothing. Learn. Change. Make sure you never hurt anyone like that driver hurt us." Victoria promises she will. Week 16. Victoria has completed half her community service hours. Dr. Mitchell calls her into the office. "Sit down." Victoria sits. She expects to be yelled at, to have done something wrong. Instead, Dr. Mitchell looks thoughtful. "You're doing good work." Victoria blinks. "Really? Don't sound so surprised. You show up on time now. You don't complain. You do what's asked. That's more than some of our paid staff." She pulls out a paper. "I wrote a progress report for Judge Caprio. I told him you're taking this seriously, that you're learning." Victoria's eyes water. "Thank you." Dr. Mitchell nods. "But I also told him something else. I told him that real change isn't about doing community service. It's about who you become after it's done. That's what we'll see." Week 20. Victoria's apology video is ready. She recorded it herself. No fancy production. No script. Just her, sitting in a simple room, talking. She explains what she did. Name's Elena. Apologizes directly. She talks about what she's learned. About privilege. About consequences. About the value of work she used to think was beneath her. She posts it on every platform. The comments are mixed. Some people say it's fake. Some say she's only sorry she got caught. Some say she deserves worse punishment. But some say they're proud of her for trying to change. She reads every comment, even the cruel ones. Especially the cruel ones. Because maybe that's part of learning too. Understanding how her actions affected people. Week 25. Final day of community service. Victoria clocks in at 6 a.m., like always. She's assigned to the pediatric emergency room. A little girl comes in. She's maybe 5 years old. She fell and broke her arm. She's scared, crying. Her mother looks exhausted and worried. Victoria brings the girl a stuffed animal from the donation box. "What's your name?" "Emma." "Hi, Emma. I'm Victoria. That's a pretty name. Want to know a secret?" Emma nods, tears still streaming. "I was really scared the first time I came to the hospital, too. But everyone here is really nice. They're going to help your arm feel better." Emma hugs the stuffed animal. "Will it hurt?" "Maybe a little, but not as much as it hurts now. And then you'll get a cool cast that all your friends can sign." Emma's crying slows down. Her mother mouths, "Thank you," to Victoria. Victoria smiles. A real smile. Later, as she's leaving, Elena stops her. "That was good. What you did with that little girl." "Thanks. I just remember being scared once. Wanted to help." Elena hands her an envelope. "What's this?" "Open it later." Victoria takes it. They stand there for a moment. "Ms. Morales, I know I've said it before, but I need you to know. I'm truly sorry. For everything. You didn't deserve any of it." Elena nods. "I know you are. And I believe you've changed. But the real test is what happens now. When nobody's watching. When there's no judge making you do the right thing. That's when we'll see who you really are. Victoria nods. I won't let you down. Don't do it for me. Do it for yourself. Be someone you're proud of. They shake hands. Victoria leaves the hospital for the last time as a community service worker. In the parking lot, she opens the envelope. Inside is a card. Handwritten. Victoria, thank you for the work you did these past months. Thank you for trying to change. I hope you succeed. My daughter Sophia told me yesterday that she saw your apology video. She said it took courage. She said maybe you weren't as bad as she thought. Coming from a teenager, that's high praise. I hope you find your path. I hope you use your privilege to help others instead of hurt them. The world needs people who care. Good luck. Elena Morales. Victoria sits in her car and cries. But they're different tears now. Not shame or anger. Something else. Maybe hope. 1 month later, Victoria returns to court. Judge Caprio reviews her file. The completed service hours. The essay. The victim impact panel certificates. Dr. Mitchell's report. The apology video. He looks up. Ms. Ashford, you've completed everything required of you. Your essay was thoughtful. Your service hours were completed with good marks. You fulfilled the terms of your sentence. Victoria nods. How do you feel? She thinks carefully. Different, Your Honor. I see things differently now. I see people differently. I see myself differently. Explain. I used to think money made me special. That having things meant I was worth more. I was wrong. The most valuable people I've met in the last 6 months were the ones I used to ignore. The nurses. The janitors. The people who do hard work because it needs doing. She takes a breath. I'm not fixed. I'm not suddenly perfect. But I'm trying. And I'll keep trying. Judge Caprio nods slowly. That's all anyone can do. Try. Fail. Learn. Try again. The people who never try, who never admit they were wrong, they're the ones who stay stuck. He signs a paper. Your license is being reinstated. Your probation is complete. You have no further requirements from this court. He looks at her one more time. But I want you to remember something. What you did these last 6 months. That wasn't punishment. That was education. The most expensive education you'll ever get. Because it cost you your pride. Your ego. Your belief that you were special. His voice softens. Use it. Don't waste it. Be better than you were. Help others. Recognize privilege when you see it, and use it for good. That's how you honor the second chance you've been given. Victoria stands. Your Honor, can I say something? Go ahead. Thank you for not giving up on me, for believing I could change. I won't waste it. Judge Caprio smiles. Just slightly. See that you don't. This court is adjourned. The gavel falls one last time. 6 months after that, Victoria stands outside a community center in South Providence. It's in a rough neighborhood. The building needs paint. The windows need washing. She's holding paintbrushes and supplies. She organized this. Gathered volunteers. Bought supplies with her own money. 20 people showed up. Some from a hospital. Some from the victim impact panels. Some just neighbors who wanted to help. Elena arrives with her kids. Sophia is 17 now. Miguel is 13. They work all day. Painting walls. Cleaning windows. Fixing broken steps. When they're done, the community center looks new. The director, an older man named Mr. Washington, shakes Victoria's hand. Thank you, young lady. This place serves 200 kids. Now it looks like we care about them. Victoria smiles. I'd like to make this regular. First Saturday of every month. Volunteers helping community spaces that need it. Mr. Washington's eyes water. That would be amazing. As the sun sets, Victoria sits on the freshly painted steps with Elena. Think Judge Caprio would be proud. Victoria asks. Elena laughs. I think he'd say the work is just beginning. It is. But I'm ready. They sit in comfortable silence. Victoria's phone buzzes. Instagram notification. She ignores it, not checking her phone. Elena asks. Social media isn't as important as I thought. Turns out real life is more interesting. Elena smiles. Look at you. All grown up. Victoria laughs. I'm trying. Above them, the community center sign is lit up. Fresh paint. Clean windows. A beacon of hope in a neighborhood that needs it. Inside, kids are playing basketball. Their shouts echo in the evening air. Happy sounds. Safe sounds. Victoria thinks about the woman she was. Designer clothes. Expensive car. Entitled attitude. That woman feels like a stranger now. She thinks about the woman she's becoming. Someone who sees people. Who helps. Who uses privilege as a tool for good instead of a weapon. She's not there yet. But she's getting closer. And for the first time in her life, she's proud of herself for reasons that have nothing to do with money. Across town, Judge Frank Caprio sits in his chambers. It's late. Everyone else has gone home. He reads Dr. Mitchell's email update on Victoria. About the community center project. About the volunteers. About real change. He smiles. In 40 years of being a judge, he's seen thousands of people. Some learn. Some don't. Some change. Some stay the same. The wins are rare. But they matter. He thinks about Victoria. About her arrogance. Her breakdown. Her growth. He thinks about Elena. About her dignity. Her grace. Her forgiveness. He thinks about justice. Real justice. Not just punishment. But restoration. Redemption. Growth. That's what the system should be. Not revenge. Transformation. He closes his computer. Puts on his coat. Heads home to his wife. Tomorrow there will be more cases. More people who think rules don't apply. More opportunities to teach. But tonight, he allows himself to feel satisfied. Because sometimes, just sometimes, the system works. Sometimes people learn. Sometimes privilege meets consequence and comes out better on the other side. Sometimes justice is served not with a hammer, but with a mirror. Forcing someone to see themselves. Really see themselves. And giving them the chance to change what they see. That's the real power of the law. Not control. Transformation. Not punishment. Education. Not revenge. Redemption. Judge Caprio turns off his office light. The courthouse goes dark. But somewhere across the city, a freshly painted community center glows. Kids play inside. Families gather. Hope lives. And a young woman who once thought money could buy anything learned that some things are priceless. Dignity. Respect. Purpose. Growth. The kind of wealth that matters. The kind you can't buy. The kind you have to earn. One cleaned room at a time. One essay word at a time. One act of service at a time. Until you look in the mirror and see someone worth being. That's justice. Real justice. And in Judge Caprio's courtroom, everyone gets a chance at it. Even millionaires' daughters who think their mothers can buy the world. Because money can buy many things, but cannot buy back time. It cannot undo harm. It cannot purchase respect. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, it definitely cannot buy justice.